What's down, what's down, what's down? This Fou Fou Shay. Fou did it, whatever you want to call me, and it's my story.
What's your story?
Gotcha. So, like, for the people who don't know, tell them where you from.
I'm out the Nine Waller, Self North Villery.
Gotcha. So, some people been seeing you on the internet acting a fool, going crazy. So, for the people who don't know, tell them what you do.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, really. I own Bayou Rentals, with my other co-partners. Y'all might heard of them, Super, Lock It, Yeah, I do that, and then I just do me after that. I rap every now and then if I won't get in the rap mode. If I want, whatever I do, I just go. I just flow. Ain't no real, nothing on me like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, at first, you was, a lot of people start seeing you as a rapper, like, in your early 20s, but you had to go take one on a vacation and break.
That's right. Yeah, I was rapping in my teens. Really, I started rapping like at 10. But I kind of took it serious when I got in my 20s. I ain't never really stepped on it heavy, but I kind of took it, getting a little buzz of this, that, and the other. Then I was rolling with my, the niggas I was rolling with. Everybody around us was doing our thing, and then fuck, like every on every little story when you're in the streets, it take a turn. I got popped. I went to jail there. I went and did my time in 2017. 2017. Came home.
And what day you got? Like bring us back to that day. Like, what happened that day? Like,
oh, yeah, that day. I got popped twice. To be real with y'all, I got popped twice. You remember? It was in 2016. I want to say 2016, 2015. I got popped in traffic. Riding with one of my partners, you heard me, riding with one of them, and I know, in my mind, I gotta move a certain type of way. The story is a crazy story. I was in a relationship, you heard me, with a female, and I know one thing about I know females, like if your mind ain't together and y'all going through shit like that, and you in the streets, you can't hustle like with a clear mind. You can't hustle with a clear mind. That shit gonna be fucking with your head. So I tell man, look, come get me, ooh, wop, wop, wop. I tell my partner, man, come get me this, that, and other, man. This guy hit this money, ooh, wop, wop. I'm going crazy, Before I do anything, I said, let me dip up out here and take the keys and ooh, this, that to the vehicle. So I hop in the car with him. We riding down motherfucking what I want to say. We in Chalmette, coming from the 9, heading to Chalmette. All I know is them bitches stopped me. My partner was smoking in the car. And I'm looking at him like, man, no, we can't smoke in no car. Cause you don't want that, you don't want that attraction. Like if they stop us, it got proper costas. I know what I got on me. You see what I'm saying? But I got a bag of clothes in the car, cause I'm like, man, I'm done with this shit. I'm about to ooh, wow. So I know what I got on me. So, man, just like I thought, a traffic stop, seatbelt stop, led to a whole search warrant. You know what I'm saying? And I know it wasn't fuss. He stopped me like, man, why you got your seatbelt on? Woo. He rolled the window down. The smoke hit him in his face. So that give proper cost. So now he come through the, man, get out the car. Let me move this, that, and the other. Man, that boy get out the car. That boy go through the trunk. That boy sweating. I remember that boy sweating. I'm looking in the rearview mirror like this. I'm looking in the rearview mirror like, man, I hope this nigga. I only know what's on me. I don't know what's in the trunk because I forgot. I got shit up in the trunk. I forgot. So I'm like, man, put this bitch, when you out the street, you got to find tuck and shit like that. You heard me to tuck that bitch off. You heard me? That boy see me rise up. Boy said, get out the car. I said, what's that? And that boy get me out the car. He checked me. I ain't lying. If you out the street, when you tuck your shit, you heard me? I'm squeezing that bitch together tight as a motherfucker, you heard me? That boy say, I saw you lift up. I was like, man, no, I ain't never lift up. What you talking about, man? He said, I'm telling you, you go to jail, they gonna strip search you naked, and I'm like, fuck that. I ain't giving up. Look, he gonna have to strip search me naked. I'm a pray to God that bitch disappear wherever that bitch go. You heard me? So after that boy put me in the back of his car. You hear me? And I ain't telling on myself because it's over, but that boy put me in the back of the car. I take that bitch out. I put that bitch in his car and say, bitch, when they catch you, you gonna go to jail. I tucked that bitch off in the back of his car like that. That boy got me back out the car and said, man, what is you doing up? That boy searching. Now I'm comfortable because I know it ain't on me. And if it's in your car, that could be for anybody. You hear me? That's how I'm looking at it. That boy said, I'm out there for an hour. You hear me? That boy go in the trunk. I'm thinking I'm free. I done cross my legs like, yeah, he ain't fucking with me. I'm good. That boy go in the trunk. That boy search through that bitch. That boy say, bingo. And I'm like, what the fuck? bingo. Boy, pull out a bag of shit. That boy put it on the car. And then my partner, man, I remember this like it was yesterday. My partner, he looking at me, and this just some extra information. That boy looking at me, that boy got that look like, boy, I just come from doing 6 months. That boy looking at me like, you better take your charge. That boy looking at me like, boy, you better. And then he kind of said, well, fuck me up even more, you hear me? And I ain't lie. Like, that shit fucked me up a little, you know, on some shit, because he said, and he like, man, look, you better take your, he like, man, look, ooh, I just come from, man, you basically, you gonna tell him this?
You damn near tell him.
I'm like this. I'm looking at him like, man, this is, I say, man, you don't got to tell me, wop, 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 wop. I go, and police looking like, you gonna take your charge? That boy looking at me like, you gonna take your charge? I'm like, he like, what is it? I say, I don't know what it is. Because I'm going to let you do your job. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to let you do your job because, you know, fuck. So he out there, he put that bitch on the, you know, woo tested. That boy say, woo, we got him just what we want. Send him and go to Chalmette. Because I'm in the borderline between Chalmette and Orleans, right there by the Navy base. That's why I get pulled over there. And that's the first one. The second one was way more crucial because them bitches run through my house. You hear me? I stayed in Metairie at the time. Had a spot in Metairie. And you know, I ain't lying. When you're in the streets, like, you be having your little intuition. You be feeling like, man, I wonder if them bitches watching me. I wonder if them bitches, you be like, nah. And then my partner tell me some shit like, nah, fool, you just don't, you just in the game and you just thinking they watching the end. So I'm like, I fall back like, okay, maybe them bitches not watching me. But some in my chest like, them bitches watching me. I ain't never see that car right here. And then I don't never keep nothing by me on, you know, but just this day. This one day I was like, I said, man, I could leave it right here for a second, man. I'm going to come back. I left out the house, and something in my stomach said, go back. I left everything on the table. Something in my stomach said, nah, go back up there. Ain't nobody got no keys to this bitch. But go back up there and put the shit up in the cabinet. So I go back in that bitch, and I open the door, I put that bitch in the cabinet. I get out that bitch, and I'm riding. I see a police sitting in the cut, like over there. And I'm like, side-eye. I'm turning the corner side. I'm like, man, I wonder. That bitch come behind me fast. Shoom. And I'm in the rearview mirror like, oh, shit. And I'm going to make a pop. You heard me? So I got some on me, but I'm going to make a pop quickly. And I ain't never do nothing in, and this in JP. You heard me? I got popped in JP and St. Bernard. The two worst parishes to get popped. I had rather got popped in Orleans. And that's where I did all my dirt at, in Orleans. But these happened by default. So I lay up there. He pulled me over. All I know is, man, like 20 police calls come from everywhere. The boy say, get him out. I hear him come over with him. Like, stop playing with him. Bring him back up to his spot. Bring him. Man, that nigga used my thumb, open that bitch up. They coming all out the water with the fucking guns. And I'm looking like, who they think I am? Tony Montana? I'm like, who they, you know, as an insider. You hear me? I'm like, who they think I am? Tony Montana? That's why I'm looking at the bitches. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's over for me. I'm already looking. I say, yeah, and I just got popped. Yeah, this is probably it. I'm going, yeah. I'm going to do some time. You hear me? They come through that bitch, you hear me? And they looking around. They say, oh, this bitch is nice. Oh, you just living, huh? I'm like, they looking. Them bitches eating my chicken. I cooked. Them bitches eating my chicken. They sitting on. They got me right there. They asked me, why you want to do that? Asked me, are they getting all these prep talks? They got me in cuffs. So when I went in there, I did put some under the ball stool. So this is how lucky I was. I put some under the ball stool, and I had some in my cabin. So when they come through and they found it, they searched the whole house, all in the vents, wop, wop, wop. They pull that bitch out the cabin. They're like, oh. But he flipped everything. Because they had one officer sitting at the ball stool to monitor me, just talking to me while everybody else. So he's sitting on the dope. He don't even know. The dope under his chair, like he's sitting on it. He flipped the chair next to him, just doing it. And I'm looking in my mind like, this nigga don't know he's sitting on the dope. You heard me? That's how I'm looking. I'm like, that nigga don't know he's sitting on the dope. I might not get a worse charge now because he on most of it under the chair, like the chair shaped like a triangle. And I put shit under there the whole time. Them bitches left. Then they forget the dope in the house when they lay up there and take me down. I'm listening to them. Oh, we forgot the dope. So that could have been something I could have beat too. Like, man, y'all can't re-enter and this, that, and the other. Y'all need another warrant. This, that. I don't know how good the warrant was for. But they never got that dope under the chair. I'm on a phone call. I'm on the phone with my brother, everybody. Man, look, trying to talk in codes. Man, look, make sure, go, They got it. They went in that bitch. They must have heard the phone call because they called back. They done sliced up all my couch. I got all the videos and everything. My bed, everything got sliced up because they must have heard the phone call that I had more left in there. And but they never got to it. And fuck, took me down. I got out. Both of my bond with 100,000. So you paying like 10% of the shit. Get out, and I'm like, they give me the R.I.P.
Oh no, see, that's what I was about to get to. Like, cause I saw you in the club, and me and you had the same lawyer. And
Oh yeah.
How long you got? So I was about to fight it, but I'm like, man, go give me the thing.
My dog, huh?
Man, R.I.P. Morris.
R.I.P. Morris. That's my dog. I ain't gonna lie. I had two lawyers. I had him and Jeff.
Okay.
I had him and Jeff. They kind of like, I put them together. But I did my own homework. There's something for y'all niggas that's out here in the street, real talk. Y'all have to know y'all own shit too. You heard me? Like, you gotta help the lawyer. You gotta always remember that this is y'all life. This is y'all life, regardless. They got people that mean good, but still do your own due diligence. That's very important. So I'm looking like I'm about to go sit and do time. Let me help him. So I hit Morris up, and we go to court. I'm like, well, Morris, look, check this out. Because I'm dealing with I'm going to two courts. I'm going to St. Bernard fighting the charge and going to JP, So I know I'm reading the shit like, okay, I want to see if they could put these together and you could run it on, I forgot what they call it.
It would run it on
concurrent. Yeah, concurrent. So they end up running it. So Morris, I tell Morris, look, in August, this June, I say in August, they got a new law where for my charge is gonna be the minimum of 5 years. See, my charge was the minimum of 10 years for heroin. It was at first, but the new law was coming out. It was gonna be the minimum of 5 years, but it was gonna be in August it take place. They wanted me to turn myself in July. So I'm like, man, tell them, can I wait till August? This on the JP charge. So they like, no, I was turning myself in. No, it's too late. You turned yourself in. So I go to jail and JP. They send me upstate. They bring me back down to go to court, and I go in St. Bernard, and Morris is like, he called Fuller. Fuller, man, he's saying that for the heroin charges is gonna be the new law gonna be is gonna be 5 years minimum. I thought it was 10. Fuller's like, no, he's correct. So that's when you fought that. Like, look, can we give him 5 years concurrent with the wop. So I end up getting 10 with the good. And, I still had to do you got to do 4 off of 10. Good time, you do 3. So it's still the bigger number, the bigger charge still outweighed the smaller charge. But at the end of the day, I end up going through that time. I walked it down. Ain't nobody do time like me. If a nigga was following me, I studied that prison shit and came home and, shit got popping.
So, that's my question. Like, what's the craziest thing you saw in jail? And also, but what did you actually learn in jail?
The craziest thing I saw in jail, I went to jail. I ain't lying. Look, I go to jail. Now, I'd have been popped so many times, but I ain't never had to do no real time. So this time, I'm going to jail, and this ain't in the parish. I'm going upstate. I'm going to big jail. You see what I'm saying? What they call it. I'm going to big jail, so I'm walking through that bitch. And I remember, I already put in my mind, fuck, it's either it's going to be me or them. I already set my mind to that. It's either going to be me or them. I ain't going out. That's how it's going to go. That's how I already put in my mind. So I go through that bitch, you hear me? And you know how they do. Have you been, they're going to see you through the process where they showing you videos of rape, this, that, and the other, woo-de-woo, the tricks that they put the snacks on the bed, wop. Some of that, but it ain't really like that, but it's like that too, if that makes sense. So I'm going that bitch like, to shave you up. I cut through that bitch with the bag on my back, you heard me? Soon as I walk through that bitch, it's chaos, you heard me? I'm upstate. I'm in Allen Correction. If a nigga know about Allen, they know Allen was a fucking gladiator camp, you see what I'm saying? So I go through that bitch, and it's 2017, you heard me? So I'm like, bitch, yeah, when I catch you, bitch, I'm a jug you. Yeah, I seen the shit I seen in jail. I seen niggas die in that bitch, get jugged in their head. One time nigga got jugged in their head. I was on child hall. I was at child. And they shut everything down. Nobody could come out child. I sneak out that bitch, you hear me? Trying to get to my back to my own cell, I see the nigga coming through that bitch. He on the toilet, his whole head bust open, and he dripping. You heard me behind ratting. You heard me, nigga jigged him in his head. Two niggas out the hood, out my hood, out the ninth wall, and a nigga out my hood sent the hit that I fuck with the deal, my guy. You heard me? But he sent the hit on him over, and the hit was like on some mojo. Like, look, bitch, I got an ounce of mojo, take him out. I got a stick or two, take him out. You heard me? And niggas going crazy. You know, niggas do what they gotta do for that mojo. If you get an ounce, you can make, you know, in jail, you know, off an ounce. Shit, man, if you do it right, you heard me? You can make damn near, no lie, damn near over about 5 racks. You heard me? Over 5 racks. If you know what I'm saying? If you do it right, because it's a stick. They call it a stick. So you ain't getting that much of mojo like you'll get in the street. In a jail, that bitch, literally a stick is gonna take you 2 seconds, 3 seconds to kill a stick and it be over. But you know, if it's that flash, you know, you seen this shit, niggas be flashing in jail, turning into a whole nother, be swimming in the fucking ground, zombies swimming in rocks, you know, shit like that. And I joked, you know, off that shit because when I first got in there, I said, oh, this is gonna be a long run. I might as well get high and fucked up too. I said that, to be honest. But after that first month of me getting high and coming and fucked up off that mojo and zombie and like, man, what the fuck? You go to thinking, reality go to hitting. Man, what the fuck? I'm even doing this. The mojo fucking me up. I said, I know, I can't do this all these years. I got off that bitch immediately and said, and got straight to like reading. I went to reading. I went to digging into, you know, God deeply. You know what I'm saying? I went to digging into, I say, fuck it, I'm gonna go to college. You heard me? You know, they had Ashland University. I tried to do the college thing up there, but I realized it was gonna leave me in jail longer because it's a money thing. You know, I had to do 2 years, so I wasn't gonna be able to get my, you know what I'm saying? So now I did that, and the craziest thing I seen, and then another thing I seen too, I hate this. I see them niggas go up there and be punked out. And to each his own, but I seen this shit happen. Like, I'm going to visitation. A nigga done took off his Buddhist shorts, you heard me? Put on a real outfit, you heard me? And say, man, I gotta go in that bitch. And I'm at visitation. Now, I know him from being in jail, a punk. Nothing against nobody, you know, to each his own, but I'm just telling you my story. You know what I'm saying? I see him being in jail, a punk. Then after that, I see him lay up there and be in visitation. What's up, baby? You know, was jam like, you know, wop, this, that, and the other. And I'm looking like this. I'm at visitation with my mom, and I'm like, man, I'm telling them, man, this nigga. You see what I'm saying? He looking at them like, he talking to the, yeah, baby, you know, I love you. You know, all I can do is think about you and hear woo-dee-woo, wop. You heard me? And then after that, go back in that bitch and go back to greasing his legs up and back to the shorts. I'm like, man, this shit is mind-blowing.
And the crazy thing I always told somebody, like, man, it's crazy, like, because if you was in jail and you saw somebody either being the top or the bottom, it's crazy when you see them back on the streets and hollering at girls and all that, like.
Fuck me up.
Like, man.
Fuck me up. They got niggas that felt that was their purpose, their job to expose niggas like that. For me, I'm a nigga that really be minding my own business, like, to the fully. Like, I don't want a nigga come fuck with me in my circle, like around me. That's why I don't really go. I see it and this, that, and the other. If I have my opinions and my feelings about it, you know, I got that. But overall, like, I don't go disturb a nigga, cause I don't want a nigga to come disturb me. You see what I'm saying? Cause I know I'ma just be like, fuck it, you gonna come disturb me, then we gonna, you know, it's gonna happen. So yeah.
So, you know, also read books and different things like that. Hey, so what was your mindset when you like, man, as soon as I got out of jail, man, I gotta change it up, I gotta do something different?
My mindset was, I was in there, I had a lot of resentment. You know, you in jail, you got so much time to think. You could see your whole past. You could revisit it, your whole past, like, you know, when you're in jail. So I'm just thinking about since I was like 2. I done went from 2 to all the way to, you know, 30 or whatever age I was, you know, and I'm just like looking at the decisions I made, you know, like going back on it, like, damn, the gut feelings I have, you know what I'm saying, didn't follow them. You see what I'm saying? So it was a lot of, you know, self-check up, and I was just checking myself. The people I had around me, you know, like who was really like here and who wasn't there, you know. So my thing was like, I used to be like, I don't know what's gonna be my calling when I come home from jail. I don't know what the calling gonna be, but when I get home, I just prayed that I made the right decision. I knew I was ready. I was sharpening up. My mom used to be like this. She used to come to jail and be like, son, you learned your lesson? Because in my mind, like I think it was close to when I was almost getting out, when I was like, because in my mind, I was stuck on that, I'm going to do it better this time when I come home. You see what I'm saying? Whatever I was doing, I'm going to do it at a whole nother level this time. They ain't going to catch me. Because I was doing my thing, to be real with you, I was doing my thing in jail. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if I could do it in a house, they ain't going to be able to fuck with me when I touch down in the big world again. You heard me? And then when I went up there in jail, like I kind of like, I rubbed elbows with like the authority. You see what I'm saying? When I first went to jail, I was so used to being free. I used to talk crazy to like the POs and shit like that, to the COs and shit like that. I used to talk crazy to them. So they used to be like, the niggas in jail used to be like, no, fool. Damn, you can't joke like that, man. This shit gon' get up, make your bed, sitting, wop, man, no, get in your bed. You know, some of them overdo it. You see what I'm saying? I was bucking it. I was like, man, the fuck, man, no. You tripping. I don't give a fuck. But I started realizing as the time go by, you can't beat that. You can't beat the people. You can't beat the people in their house. You heard me? Them bitches make an example out of you. And it's so cold. It's so much of cold-blooded where they already built a relationship with some of the inmates, and you know, fuck, they'll send them on you. You see what I'm saying? I done seen them crack a door open. You heard me? And say, yeah, he fucking with me. Go ahead. You heard me? Go fuck with that. I done seen that. I went there, nigga was like, oh, I came there with I had shell tools on. I had my grids and shell tools on when I first went in there. And I'm a person that I observe. You heard me? Nigga was like, oh, say, homie, you want to sell those shoes? Because that's the first thing they do when new roll in, they looking at shoes, because, you know, that's outside shit. They trying to see, like, man, you know, they want to get fresh. This is how they live. You in jail, like, you getting fresh for yourself. You feeling like you outside. You see what I'm saying? So they like, man, you want to sell them shoes? And I ain't give a fuck about no shoes. I went to jail. I was straight. I was already cocked. You remember when I was going to jail? But in my mind, I just had to be like, I'm like, nah, I don't want to sell them. That's what I'm telling. Nah, I don't want to sell them at all. Even though I ain't give a fuck about them, but I ain't about to know. We ain't about to know. Nah, I love these, my favorite. You heard me? I think I went to the whole Jose with them shoes. Like 3 years, 2.5 years, I went the whole Jose with those same shoes. At the end of the Jose, I gave them away. Just for me. It was for me, like, man.
I ain't take that
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never, more of the story, ain't nobody got the shoes. I had the bitches, they got it at the end of the Jose because I got shipped so many times. I've been to 5 different jails. You know what I'm saying? So
you kept them shells.
I kept them shells. You know?
Gotcha. So, you know, you come home, you know, it was your team up with, you know, it was Lock and Super, you know, open up, it was Bayou, you know.
Bayou Reynolds, Bayou, yeah.
And, you know, you had to roll it for some years, then, you know, but then you had to go on Instagram, like, you know, the people playing with you. So, you know, kind of tell the people what happened, and, like, tell the people how it came about, like, with the idea even opening it.
I came home, and it was like, I came home and hustled. Just be frank. When anything, you know, I was Big Bingo. You remember that? I was Big Bingo. I was doing anything. I had Airbnbs. I was hustling my mind was locked in. I looked at it like I was in work release, working for 5 pennies, you heard me, at Wendy's. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, when I come home, fuck, why would I work? I might as well do this for myself. I know me. I know my character. I'm going to push this bitch out. I don't give a fuck. It's going to work. I already had in my mind, I don't give a fuck what it is. It's going to work. I could sell peanut butter sandwiches. I felt like it's gonna work. I just did this time in jail and I seen like the worst of the worst. I don't give a fuck. I'm free. So I hustled. Like I did everything you could possibly, you know, you could name. And then I studied enough to know these are the steps I had to take, you know what I'm saying? And so I think I jumped up to like damn near 300. You heard me? Like in 6 months. You heard me? About 300. You heard me? In 6 months. And I'm like, okay. I know what I studied was this shit won't last for long if I'm in the streets. I just know how this shit go. It ain't gonna last for long. I know how this shit go. So I need to do something this time I could go buy a Rolls Royce. That's what I'm saying to myself. Fuck the city up, but what I'm doing it for the city for. Like they don't give a, you know what I'm saying? Like they with you and not when they not. You see what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, and then I already stamped. I already did so much shit already. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck it, this is the opportunity. They know I'm coming home. They know that I don't have to, they know Fou got to get it back. So I'm about to get it back. But this time I'm going to do it different. I'm going to put it into something that's going to continue to make money so I don't have to, hustle no more. I could push that to the side and I could lower my risk. You see what I'm saying? So I called Lock. I had hit 100,000 at first. And I was like, okay, I'm back. I put that on Twitter, I remember. And Lockett was like, welcome back to the six-figure, that's how welcome back to the six-figure club. And I'm like, he was like, bitch, what's that? What you want to do? I'm like, let's go get property. So we go. I'm all in the auctions. I'm all, what's that? Why we go in the east? We see a big old house property. We don't know much about it. But when I go up there, the lady like, okay, we gonna want I think she wanted like 200 or something like that for it. And we going through the proper, steps or whatever like that. But I'm still remembering, I don't got no paperwork to back none of this bread. That's how I'm looking. I don't got, they asking for this. I'm going to put the people in my mix here, man. They don't got no paperwork. So he like, man, look. Man, look, they doing this shit up in Miami. They got the scooters and shit like that in Miami, this, that, and other. Woo. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let's go let's see what that's about. I don't give a fuck. We gotta do something. I done stepped back from the shit I'm doing. We gotta do something. Let's put this bread into something. I know I'm gonna make it work. I don't give a fuck if I gotta be out there selling the scooter by myself with them bitches on my back. I was gonna be out there to make the bitches work. And so how Super came in, we've been, me, Super, Lockett, a lot of us, we've been running together way before prison. Way before prison, like we've been running. It's been like we've been at a cold-blooded relationship. So my thing was, okay, let's bring somebody else in too. We gonna do it regardless, but let's bring somebody else in. And I had I ain't know if anybody was gonna want to fuck with it or not, but I ain't care. I'm like, fuck it, we gonna do it anyway. You see what I'm saying? But it wasn't a doubt in my mind that Super probably wasn't gonna fuck with it. But I had a few people around that time on that I would, that I didn't mind bringing in because I had a plan in my mind. I'm a hustle. I ain't tripping on that. I know my name. I'm a running with my name, but I know if these people come, ain't nothing wrong with. And Lock was like, why we could just do it. I'm like, but right now, how I look at numbers. I ain't saying that we wouldn't have done it by ourselves. I'm just saying I always look at the more money we make, the more everybody get. So I wouldn't, I don't know, I ain't gonna say selfish, but I just was like, 100% of nothing is nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So I end up hitting Super, man. You hear me? It was like, man, what's that? Look, we got this going on. Woo. Let's, run into Russ, my guy, Uncle Russ. You heard me? That's my guy. Run into him, and Russ don't know us at the time. So Russ looking like, I know, everybody coming to, we didn't have people come to Super with ideas and shit like that. Nah, she done turned down so many of these fucking, this, that, other, everybody. But Super's like, nah, they different.
Last but not least, tell the world, what can they find you on social media and everywhere else?
On social media, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me at Fou Fou Shay, Fou, Foushay on Instagram. You can find the business at Bayou Rentals, BAYOURENTALS, Bayou Rentals, and you could just pull up on me. And another thing, I'm cool, so niggas could holler at me. You hear me? Niggas could holler at me and pull up. Say, I'm fool. Let's do something. Woo, this, that, and the other. And that's that.
What's your story?